Prologue. Conroe, Texas, 1977. The single-wide trailer smelled of pinto beans, diesel, and hope. Marlene Dolores Ramirez, 19 years old, barefoot, 8 months pregnant, stood at the stove stirring supper while Tommy McAllister wrestled a busted choke valve outside under a single floodlight. That night, he came in with grease to his elbows and a grin that could light the whole county. "Baby, 23 dry holes. Number 24 is gonna pay for your hospital bill and a real house with a porch." I kissed the grease off his cheek and believed him. 44 years later, I still taste that grease when I remember what love used to feel like. Chapter 1. The Widow's Walk. March 9, 2021. Tommy died on a Tuesday. He was 68, same age I am now, and still climbing the pump jack like he was 25. The coroner said massive coronary. I say his heart just got tired of beating for everybody else. The funeral was standing room only at First Baptist. Roughnecks in starched Wranglers, landmen in Lucchese boots, women who'd known me since I was that little Mexican girl Tommy knocked up. Jake stood beside me in a black Stetson 2 sizes too big, holding my hand like he used to when he was 6 and scared of thunder. That was the last time he held my hand without asking for money. Chapter 2. The Reading. March 16, 2021. The estate attorney, Mr. Raymond Delgado, yes, the same judge later, read the will in my living room while the ceiling fan clicked overhead like a countdown. 4.2 million liquid, 640 acres of mineral rights still pumping 180 barrels a day. The ranch, the hangar, the Cessna 210, the gun collection, the silver saddle Tommy won in 1989. And one sentence that made Jake's eyes turn $ green. To my beloved wife, Marlene Dolores McAllister, absolutely and without reservation. Tiffany squeezed Jake's arm so hard her French tips left crescents. I didn't know it then, but that was the sound of the starting gun. Chapter 3. The Honeymoon That Never Ended. 2021 to 2022. They moved into the guest house for 6 weeks tops. 6 weeks became 48 months. I kept a spiral notebook in the junk drawer. Every check got a date, amount, and a one-line reason in my handwriting. By Christmas 2021, the notebook looked like a suicide note written in ink and shame. $487,412 in 12 months. Private jets to Cabo. $92,000 investment in Tiffany's college roommate's athleisure line. $18,000 for Jake's silent retreat in Sedona that somehow involved bottle service. I told myself, he's grieving. She's young. They'll grow into it. I was wrong on all 3 counts. Chapter 4. The Notebook. January 2022. I started hiding the notebook under the flour tin, then in the gun safe, then in the lining of Tommy's old Bible that nobody ever opened anymore. By the time I filled notebook number 3, the total was $1,187,339. I stopped sleeping. Every night at 2:14 a.m., I'd sit on the back porch in Tommy's rocker and count stars until the numbers stopped screaming. Chapter 5. The Bora Bora Betrayal. February 14, 2022. Jake called from the FBO at Hobby Airport. "Mama, we're renewing our vows in Bora Bora." Super intimate. 20 people max. Immediate family only. You understand, right? I understood I was being erased. I bought the dress anyway. Pale blue silk shantung, mother of the groom, $1,400 at Tootsie's. Had it altered twice because the stress made me drop 18 pounds in 6 weeks. March 19, 2022. I called Jake from the beauty shop, hair in foils, heart in my throat. What time should I be at the airport, baby? Tiffany took the phone. Her voice was honey over broken glass. Oh, Marlene, we decided to keep it really small. Just parents and siblings. You'll love the pictures I paid $180 for highlights I never wore. That night I went on Instagram. 42 people tagged. Tiffany's sorority big sister, Jake's frat brothers, some influencer named at Island Baddie who live-streamed the ceremony for 1.2 million viewers. Not one picture of the woman who paid for every overwater bungalow. I sat on the closet floor in my bathrobe and cried until I dry heaved. Then I opened notebook number 4 and wrote a single line across 2 pages. They are not my family anymore. Chapter 6. The Last Straw. April 1st, 2022, 6:03 a.m. Phone rang like a fire alarm. Mama! Tiffany's voice cracked like cheap porcelain. The landlord changed the locks at the Wilshire. We're $38,000 behind. If you don't Zelle it by noon, they're putting our Louis Vuitton on the curb. I was still in my robe, coffee cold, watching Blue Jays fight over the feeder Tommy built in 1998. Something inside me died quiet. Tiffany, I said, calm as a grave. I only save special people. And y'all ain't been special since the day you left me out of Bora Bora. I hung up, turned off the ringer, walked to the gun safe, took out notebook number 4, and wrote underneath my last entry, Today I choose me. Chapter 7. Rebecca Goldstein, Attorney at Law, 6:07 a.m. I called Rebecca Goldstein, 38, Harvard Law, zero tolerance for bullshit. By 7:30, I was in her office on Louisiana Street, 23rd floor, watching the sunrise bleed orange over the refineries. Marlene, how much do you want to keep? Every dime they haven't already stolen. By 9:15 a.m., the Marlene McAllister Irrevocable Trust was born. Sole beneficiary, Harris County Animal Shelter. Trustee, Rebecca Goldstein, paid $250,000 a year for the rest of her natural life. Pour-over will signed, notarized, video recorded, fingerprint sealed. At 9:47 a.m., Rebecca wired the condo landlord $38,000 from the trust as a courtesy, one time only. My last gift to people who never deserved the first one. Chapter 8. The siege begins. April 2nd to 15th, 2022. They came at me like a West Texas dust storm. Jake screaming through the Ring camera. Tiffany sobbing on the front porch in yoga pants that cost more than my first car. Texts at 3 a.m. Mama, you're killing us. I drank sweet tea and watched them on the app while the shelter's new rescue helicopter flew overhead with a banner. Thank you, Marlene. 1,200 dogs and counting. Chapter 9. The Guardianship Papers. April 18th, 2022. Served at 7:02 a.m. by a process server who looked sorry to be there. Emergency petition for temporary guardianship. Grounds. Marlene McAllister exhibits early-onset dementia, paranoia, and undue influence by attorney Rebecca Goldstein. Attached. A neurologist in Dallas who'd never met me, a sworn affidavit from Tiffany's manicurist, a grainy video of me crying in my closet taken through the window by a PI. I laughed so hard I had to sit down. Then I called Rebecca. Chapter 10. The Calm Before the Storm. April 19th to May 2nd, 2022. Rebecca hired the best forensic accountant in Houston. Dr. Priya Singh, my actual neurologist, ran every test known to man. I passed the Montreal Cognitive Assessment with a perfect 30 out of 30 while eating brisket with my left hand. The accountant produced a 48-page report bound in red leather. Total extractions, $1,842,119.42. Categorized. Luxury travel, cosmetic procedures, OnlyFans subscriptions, crypto scams, a silent retreat that cost $18,000 and involved champagne and strippers. Rebecca framed it, hung it in her office like modern art. Chapter 11. Probate Court, Judge Raymond Delgado. May 3, 2022, 9 a.m. I wore the red crocodile Lucchese boots, black suit, and Tommy's grease-stained Longines. Jake wore a rented suit 2 sizes too small. Tiffany wore grief like it was couture. Their attorney, Lance Abernathy, Rolex, tan, $800 haircut, opened with, "Your Honor, Mrs. McAllister has transferred her entire fortune to an animal shelter under suspicious circumstances." Rebecca's cross-examination lasted 11 minutes. She made Tiffany read her own Instagram captions aloud. She made Jake explain why he needed $127,000 for a tequila partnership that never produced 1 bottle. She played the ring footage of them screaming at a 70-year-old woman while rescue dogs barked in the background. Judge Delgado never left the bench. "Mr. Abernathy, I've seen armadillos with better judgment than your clients." Petition denied. "And son," he looked at Jake, "your mama's sharper than a cactus in a balloon factory. Don't come back here wasting Harris County oxygen." He banged the gavel so hard the bailiff flinched. Chapter 12. The Fallout. May 4, June 2022. They tried everything. Tiffany showed up at the shelter with a GoPro and a sob story. Security escorted her out past the new wing named after me. Jake started an OnlyFans selling exclusive Bora Bora content. Made $400 before Rebecca's cease and desist shut it down. They filed bankruptcy in June. I sent flowers to the hearing. White lilies. Card read, "Thoughts and Prayers." Chapter 13. The Ranch Sale. July 15th, 2022. 640 acres. $28.4 million cash. Buyer paid, asking price sight unseen, because the mineral rights were about to go into the August lease sale. Closing was at 10 a.m. I wore the red boots and a smile sharp enough to shave with. Jake and Tiffany were served 72-hour eviction papers from the guest house at 10:02 a.m. I watched them load Tiffany's G-Wagon with designer bags while the shelter's helicopter flew overhead with a new banner. Marlene McAllister, Second Chance Wing, 2,000 dogs, saved and counting. Sa. Chapter 14. Where Are They Now? 2025. Jake works the drive-thru at Whataburger on I-10 East. Still wears the Rolex. Pawn ticket says $8,500. He won't sell it. Pride is expensive. Tiffany is a brand ambassador for a teeth-whitening MLM. Lives in a 1-bedroom in Katy with a guy who thinks Bora Bora is a sushi roll. The shelter named their mobile spay-neuter clinic after me. It's a 40-foot Prevost painted red with my name in gold. Chapter 15. Marlene, age 72. I bought the penthouse on the 42nd floor of the Wilshire, the same building they got evicted from. 4,200 square feet, floor-to-ceiling windows. I can see every refinery flare from Conroe to Texas City. Some nights I sit on the balcony with Tommy's Longines ticking against my wrist and a glass of Pappy Van Winkle older than Jake. I think about that barefoot girl stirring beans in a single-wide believing love meant never saying no. Then I look south toward the medical center where the shelter's new trauma wing is breaking ground, and I smile. Turns out freedom looks real good on a woman who finally learned how to say, hell no. Epilogue. Harris County. Animal Shelter. Grand Opening. Marlene McAllister. Second Chance Wing. October 12th, 2025. 1,847 dogs adopted. 1,200 cats. 84 horses. One old woman in red boots cutting the ribbon while a helicopter flies overhead with a banner that reads, "Love don't cost a thing. But freedom? That's priceless. The end."